Hey y'all, Chef IrixGuy here, back again with another cooking video. And today I'm going to show you how to make perfectly sized burgers. And you could use ground beef, ground chuck, or ground sirloin. I'm just using ground chuck today, which is kind of a middle grade. It'll make a really good burger, but I'm going to show you up close how I do these. Let's bring this camera over here. I'll show you how to make 2 pounds worth of ground chuck burgers. The first thing you want to do is put on your gloves, and I've linked the gloves like I used within this video's description. They're very affordable and obviously disposable. After you use them, throw them away. You don't have to wear gloves unless you're required to, but I like to wear gloves when I make burgers. Got my gloves on. Now you just bring your ground chuck or ground beef or ground sirloin. I'm doing ground chuck today. Bring it over here. This is a little bit over 2 pounds, so just get your ground chuck and take your time. But each burger for this is going to be about 16 ounces, which is a pound. So I'm just visually guesstimating here how much of this I will need. So I'm putting a little bit more. So from 2 pounds, I'm expecting to make about 4 burgers. Do this really good because you want it to be pressed together. If you've ever had somebody cook you a burger and it's falling apart because they didn't form it well, I mean, that's a common issue. So then you put this in your little burger press, and by the way, I've linked it within this video's description. And then you simply push down. And look at that, a perfectly formed, that's about a 8-ounce burger, which is about half a pound. Now we're gonna do the next one. Like I said, this is about 2 pounds of ground chuck. Do the same thing. And optionally, if you wanted to, you could, before you form your patties, you could mix garlic powder, chopped garlic, cheese, onion, any other seasoning that you may want to add. You could add it to the meat, to the ground chuck before you form your burgers. I mean, that's completely up to you. I'm just taking the easy approach today. I'm making my burgers, and then I'll drizzle marinade, I'll put some wet marinade, which will be Worcestershire, and then some dry seasoning on top of the burgers. I'm not going to mix it in. The cool thing about this tool, and like I said, I linked it within this video's description, you can even make stuffed burgers. So if you want to make a burger and stuff it with cheese, stuff it with peppers, stuff it with garlic, whatever you wanted to stuff it with, you could. So here's another one here. See, this just makes it easy to get consistently professional results. See that? And now we'll do some of the other here. Because like I said, this is about 2 pounds, maybe just a little bit over 2 pounds. So as I mentioned, estimate about 8 ounces per burger of this when you're making them this size. Like I said, take your time and form them well so they hold together. And actually, with this being a little bit over 2 pounds, I'm gonna have just a little bit left, and I'm gonna show you a trick with that. Another perfect burger. And what do I do with this excess? Well, I could make a little mini burger, but it's not quite enough. I mean, this is just barely enough to form together. But I'm going to do it anyway, because if you're like me, you've got raccoons. That's right, I got George Cooney the raccoon, the most famous raccoon in the world, and he lives here at the Appalachian Ocean. So I'm going to make this just a tiny raccoon hors d'oeuvre, because he'll get some scraps, not burgers, of course. He'll get this little mini burger, because see, he'll sit down there and be, man, I smell burgers. You're not cooking me a burger? And yeah, I am. It's just a tiny little burger though. But he'll still be rewarded for his contributions to the channel. If you haven't checked out George Cooney the raccoon, see, there's the George Cooney burger right there. If you haven't checked out George Cooney the raccoon videos, be sure to subscribe and check it out, because he is, without a doubt, the most famous raccoon in the world. Good thing about these gloves, when you're finished, just pull them off and throw them away. Thanks for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll link the burger press and the casserole dish like I used to marinate in, because after I add the wet marinade and dry marinade, then what I'll do is I will put them in the refrigerator for a few hours to marinate. You can let them marinate in the refrigerator overnight if you wanted to. You do what you want to do. I don't care what you do. But I appreciate you watching the channel. And subscribe and ring that bell. And check out all of my other videos too. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.